Imagine this for a second. The most important Apple product of the next year is not something you will carry in your pocket. It is not something you will open on your desk. It is something that already sits in your living room, almost invisible, quietly doing its job while you barely think about it. And that is exactly why this story matters so much. Because according to the latest leaks, Apple is about to turn the Apple TV into one of the most powerful, controversial, and misunderstood devices it has ever made. And once you understand what Apple is really planning here, you will never look at that small black box under your TV the same way again. For years, the Apple TV has been treated like an accessory, a nice extra, a simple streaming box, something you buy to open Netflix, Disney Plus, or YouTube at the end of a long day. It works. It disappears into the background. And that is exactly how Apple wanted it, at least on the surface. But behind the scenes, Apple has been slowly changing its strategy. And now, with the leaked details around the Apple TV 4K 2026, that strategy is finally coming into focus. This is not a minor update. This is not a faster menu or a slightly smoother animation. This is Apple rethinking what a living room device should be in the next decade. The biggest shock starts with the chip. According to multiple credible leaks, Apple is planning to power the next Apple TV with the A17 Pro chip. Yes, the same class of chip that debuted in the iPhone 15 Pro. A chip built on a cutting-edge 3-nanometer process. A chip that already proved it can deliver insane performance while staying efficient. But here is the key detail most people are missing. Inside an iPhone, the A17 Pro is limited by heat and battery life. Inside an Apple TV, those limits almost disappear. The device is plugged into the wall. It has more space for cooling. It does not need to worry about draining a battery. That means sustained performance. Real performance. The kind of performance that completely changes what this device can do. And this is where people start getting angry. Because once you realize how much power Apple is putting into this box, the question becomes impossible to ignore. Why does a streaming device need this much power? The answer is simple. It does not. At least not if all you plan to do is watch movies. And that tells us everything we need to know. Apple is not building this for streaming alone. Apple is building this for gaming. Serious gaming. Console-level gaming. Not casual mobile games stretched onto a big screen, but real titles running natively on your TV. The A17 Pro includes hardware-accelerated ray tracing. This is a huge deal. Ray tracing simulates how light behaves in the real world. It creates realistic reflections, shadows, and lighting. Until recently, this was something you only saw on high-end gaming PCs or the latest consoles like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. The idea that this level of graphics could exist inside a tiny box hidden behind your TV would have sounded ridiculous just a few years ago. And yet, here we are. Apple has already proven with games like Resident Evil and Death Stranding that its silicon can handle serious workloads. Now imagine those experiences optimized for a device that can push sustained power without throttling. This is why some gamers are furious. Because Apple is not just dipping its toes into gaming anymore. It is making a quiet, calculated move to turn the Apple TV into a legitimate gaming platform. A device that could sit next to your console. Or for some people, replace it entirely. Especially for families, casual gamers, and anyone already deep in the Apple ecosystem. Add a controller, and suddenly the Apple TV is no longer just for movies. It becomes a shared gaming machine in the living room. Always ready, always silent, always connected. But the story does not end with gaming. There are also strong rumors that Apple may include a second chip inside the Apple TV. A dedicated machine learning coprocessor, often referred to as the N1. If this turns out to be true, it changes everything again. A dedicated neural chip means the Apple TV could handle advanced AI tasks locally. No cloud, no DDoS, no sending your data to external servers. This fits perfectly with Apple's long-standing focus on privacy and on-device intelligence. Think about what that enables. Real-time video upscaling. Old 1080p content enhanced to near 4K quality using new RAL networks. Sharper details. Less noise. Better motion. all happening instantly. Think about audio processing that keeps dialogue clear without you constantly adjusting the volume. Think about Siri that actually feels fast. Voice commands processed locally. Responses that feel immediate. No waiting. No lag. No awkward delays. This is the kind of experience Apple wants. Invisible intelligence that just works. That same intelligence could unlock features users have wanted for years. True quick resume. Switch between apps and games instantly. Jump out of a game to take a FaceTime call. Check a live score. Then jump right back into the game exactly where you left off. No loading screens. No restarts. Just flow. This kind of responsiveness changes how a device feels. It stops feeling like a tool and starts feeling like an extension of your home. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. Because the real reason Apple is doing all of this has less to do with Netflix and more to do with Apple's future vision. Spatial computing. The Vision Pro. One of the biggest criticisms of headsets is isolation. You put one on, and you disconnect from the people around you. Apple knows this, and the Apple TV may be the solution. A shared anchor in the living room. Imagine one person wearing a Vision Pro, watching a movie in a virtual theater. At the same time, the Apple TV displays that same movie on the TV for everyone else in the room. Perfectly synced. Same audio. Same video. No one is left out. Spatial audio adjusts so it feels natural for everyone. This turns the Apple TV into a bridge between physical and virtual spaces. Not a replacement for reality, but an extension of it. That is a powerful idea, and it gives the Apple TV a clear role in Apple's long-term plan. The software side is just as important. tvOS 2026 is rumored to be a major step forward. Apple is no longer treating the Apple TV like a hobby. Fitness is a big focus. With improved camera integration and machine learning, the Apple TV could act as a real-time fitness coach, tracking your movements, counting reps, analyzing form, giving feedback on the big screen. No mirrors, no extra equipment, just you and the TV. This could completely change home workouts. At the same time, the Apple TV is expected to become the central smart home hub. Local processing means faster responses. Lights turn on instantly. Locks respond immediately. Automations work even if your internet goes down. This is what smart homes were always supposed to be. Reliable, private, instant. And Apple is positioning itself to deliver that experience better than anyone else. Connectivity also matters. The rumored support for Wi-Fi 7 is a clear sign Apple is thinking long-term. Wi-Fi 7 is not just about speed. It is about stability, lower latency, better performance in crowded environments. This is essential for cloud gaming, high bitrate streaming, and seamless communication between devices like the Vision Pro. Add support for modern codecs like AV1, and you get better video quality at lower data rates. Efficient, future-proof, ready for the next decade. When you step back and look at everything together, the strategy becomes obvious. Apple is not just updating a product. It is redefining a category. The Apple TV is being transformed into the primary computer for the home. A device that handles entertainment, gaming, fitness, automation, and spatial computing. All quietly, all elegantly, all without drawing attention to itself. This is why people are angry. Because Apple is once again changing expectations without clearly explaining it yet. Some users just want a cheap streaming box. Others see the bigger picture. And that tension is exactly what makes this product so fascinating. If these leaks are accurate, the Apple TV 4K 2026 will not be a luxury accessory. It will be essential, a central nervous system for the modern home. A device that finally steps out of the background and claims its place at the center of daily life. In my opinion, if Apple executes this correctly, this could be one of the smartest moves the company has made in years. It plays to Apple's strengths: custom silicon, deep integration, privacy, long-term thinking. The Apple TV does not need to outsell the iPhone to be successful. It just needs to quietly become indispensable. And that is exactly what Apple is aiming for. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with someone who loves Apple leaks, and hit Hit the bell icon so you never miss what Apple is really building next.